Toastmasters of the day, distinguished guests and fellow Toastmasters. Vida, Eastvale, Lighthouse. What are these? Or let's bring it closer to Tanjong Pagar. You know, Duxton, Icon. What are these? These are some of the residential developments in Singapore. Today, my topic, in fact, I'd like to talk to you about a hot topic in Singapore. Property. Isn't it a hot topic? Oh, come on. Okay, you might be wondering why I'm spelling. The spelling is correct. It's P-R-O-P-R-T-Y. But why with a capital P and capital T? Well, you'll soon find out. I believe that our property is perhaps, like what Michi shared some 2 weeks ago, is probably one of our most expensive, costly, and dearest item that we will ever buy in our lifetime. Okay, that's why it's a very hot topic. And what are the criteria that you look at when you are looking for your property? I'd like to suggest 3 criteria. Important, I believe, and yet easy to remember. And it's all related to property. Okay, the first P. Okay, we'll talk about the first P. Okay, we leave the other 2 cliffhangers. Okay, the first P. What does the first P stand for? The first P I suggest to you stands for place. The most important criteria, whenever you look for a property, people will tell you location, which is another word for place. Imagine you're looking for a place, a residential place, a place that you want to stay. You're working in Changi Airport, your wife is working in Changi Business Park, and your children or your child is studying in schools or childcare centers in the east. Where would be the first place that you will be looking at for your residential property? Thank you! I would highly suggest that the first place that we look for a property as a residential property will likely to be in the east, like what Yao said, Tampines, Pasir Ris, Simei. That's this place. And it is a phenomenon in Singapore. Parents like to buy properties near schools that their children are going to. Okay, it's a phenomenon in Singapore. Popular schools, properties around popular schools are in huge demand. Not only to Singaporeans. In fact, I think that properties around international schools are also preferred by expatriates. If you are looking at buying an investment property, location or place is even more important. Where would you want to get the highest return for your investment? Conventional wisdom suggests Orchard Road, Cane Hill, Newton, Novena, or otherwise known as District 9, 10, and 11. And of course today, where's the other hot place for property investment? Come on, just down the road. Sentosa, thank you! And this is called District 4. Okay, so this is the first criteria, place. The second P, what does it stand for? Price. Thank you! Absolutely! I think the second P stands for price, and it is also very important when it comes to looking at property. What are the property that we can buy? It is determined by the affordability, how much we can afford to pay. And it's also determined by your willingness to pay for that price. Why do I say willingness? All of us, if we buy property, okay, not all of us, most of us when we buy property, we always take a bank loan, don't we? Okay, and the price that we pay for our property is determined by how much loan quantum that you want to take. Be it 30% of property valuation or up to 90% of property valuation. Is the loan quantum of 5 years or even up to a loan quantum of 30 years. For folks who are willing to take a loan quantum of up to 90% of valuation and a loan tenure of up to 30 years and beyond, if they are allowed to, these people will probably pay a higher price for their property. who are averse to loan. Therefore, they choose a loan that is the shorter in duration and smaller in loan quantum. These are the folks who will be looking for affordable housing. Therefore, the property that you will buy will definitely be impacted by the second P, which is the price that you are able to pay for and you are willing to pay for. And how about T?
Timing.
Exactly, thank you! You read my mind, or did you read my document?
He's looking at
Which is, I said, you see, it is three important but yet easy to remember criteria, and that it comes from the word property. And the T really stands for timing. When is a good time? When is a good time to buy a property? It is $1 million question, isn't it? Or maybe in today's market, it's $1 billion question. When is a good time? Okay, I would like to suggest that you look at things from two different perspectives. Residential property and investment property. For residential property, I would suggest that any time is a good time to buy the property. You either view it as a capital expenditure, which is buying a property, because you have to have a place to stay, or view it as an operational expenditure, which is renting a place. So in any case, you have to fork out the money. So I would suggest any time to buy a residential property is a good time. But when it comes to investment property, when is a good time?
Decision.
Well,
It's over.
I happen to say that given that I've got a yellow card now, we have to wait for my next speaker to talk about it. Timing for investment property. So indeed, I think our property will be one of our most expensive, costly, and dearest items in terms of monetary value. After deliberating over the place, price, and timing, my wish is for all of us to be able to find a property we call our own, a place we call home. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Learned a lot. We can all go out and look for our dream homes now and keep the